Let's just get started, shall we? And the subtitle's working. Hello, everyone. Hello, my name is Fiona. I use she, her pronouns, and this is Too Long Didn't Read Tabletop RPGs. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back to me. It's been a couple of weeks just because basically Gen Con happened. And I know that sounds really silly, but on the way up to it, I had to do lots of editing and get some podcast stuff done. And then Gen Con happened, which was very, very fun. I'll go into that in a second. And then I was like, oh shit, I've still got some editing to do. No! So I had to postpone a stream on Tuesday. And so there's been a bit of a shuffle around in the order of stuff, but we're back. I'm hoping to start doing some more regular streamings, maybe probably twice a week just to get us back up and started. But I hope you're doing well and welcome to Too Long Didn't Read Tabletop RPGs. This is a accountability tabletop reading stream. In which me, Fiona, the person that's wearing a very cool, if I do say so myself, shirt that's got owlbears on it, thank you, that was a Gen Con purchase, thank you for asking, in which I will read through an RPG that's caught my eye, whether it's from the Bookshelf of Doom or whether it is from the Google Drive of Mystery. I hope you're doing well, friends. It is good to be back. I've missed doing this sort of reading aloud stuff. Again, there's reasons why we do it. Is I can just try to learn to sight read because I've not done that for bloody ages, and also just I like reading tabletop RPGs. It's kind of my hobby, as well as something I'd hope to get onto doing more of. I just want to sometimes I forget to update Nightbot, but thankfully I have updated Nightbot for this. So today, friends, let's just get straight into it. Today, friends, we're going to be looking at The Skellingtons, which is published by Bully Pulpit and written by Jason Morningstar. Now, Jason Morningstar, you may have heard this such a name. Ooh. My chair decided to make a weird noise then. So Jason Morningstar is a well-known game designer in the TTRPG space. You may probably best known, I would say, for Fiasco, which is a game that I think we have covered on this channel. It gets to a point now where I'm like, I cannot remember at all any of the games we've covered. So when someone goes, you should do this, and I go, I need to check the list, because I think we've got well over 100 read-throughs now, which is very exciting. But yes, Fiasco, which is that sort of heist GM-less game that we looked at, also has done stuff like The Night Witches, and a whole range of other supplements and writings on things. But The Skellingtons is another game of his, so we're going to have a look into that today. So, as always, at the top of the stream, let's talk about what we do with these streams. So, we are going to look through them and see what we like about them, what we think could be improved, if anything, and also in terms of accessibility, because accessibility is important in this day and age when we are writing, when we are playing games in different ways, both remotely, in person, etc. And also, we know that games do go out of date and do change their language, etc. So again, that sort of idea of accessibility for not just digitally, online platforms, but also, is it accessible to everyone who maybe is brand new to role-playing games, is maybe from a different walk of life to what the audience is supposed to be aimed at, etc. etc. Now, as always, let's do some disclaimers. Number one, I am not a game designer. Maybe one day, but I've run a lot of games. I do 2 shows about RPGs, one that sort of involves talking to RPG designers. So I think I have a good grasp of what makes a good game, or what I think it makes a good game. That said, I've never created my own games or anything like that. Oh, the music's changed. That's no good. I'm also not very good at technology. Give me 1 second whilst I change that back, because I don't want suddenly combat music to happen, because that sometimes happens. Where was I? Ah, yes. Not a game designer, but I think I've got enough knowledge as well. But so take anything I say as a critique with a pinch of salt. I'm always happy to be proved wrong, and very much welcome as well. Not necessarily asking Jason Morningstar to watch this and comment back, but I've had recently some game designers who found this channel, hello game designers, who've then commented on the videos discussing some of the points I brought up, and I love that. I'm very much for that. So please, feel free to engage in the chat as we're doing it live or on the VOD later on. Number 2 is that I've not been sponsored to do this. I don't know anyone at Bully Pulpit Games. I don't know Jason Morningstar. So this is just going to be, it's not a biased review or anything like that. It's just my sort of first impressions of this game. Although I think, thinking about it, when I did do the random chat, I was like, I think I have run this before, or I've played this in some sort of aspect. I definitely feel like I've read it before. And then finally, some content warnings, as always. These are very important. I feel like in this one, it should be okay. If anything, I think there's content warnings for like maybe the passage of time, feelings of isolation and loneliness, and feeling and death. I think is probably going to be a big one, but sort of a generic sort of like over thing of death rather than actually ways that you've been killed, if you see what I mean. But if that doesn't interest you in this game, in this read through, please take care of yourself and step away as you need to. You are more important than me reading aloud this RPG book. Okay, there you go. Let's just go straight into it. So first thing we always do when we do these streams is we look at the marketing copy, because I always say marketing copy is always very important when you're looking at an RPG, because ultimately is what people it's the thing that sells the game. You can have a good cover, but if you don't get the point across what this game is to someone who's looking into different games, certainly games that aren't necessarily say D&D. That we've got to make sure that copy is good. So we're going to look at that before we go into the PDF itself. So I've got the PDF, but you can get this copy. You can get a physical copy from Bully Pulpit Games, but I often opt to going for the Drive-Thru RPG, and so that is the link that should be in Nightbot. So yeah, well, let's go over to it. So let's move things across so people can see. Oh, well done, Fiona. Absolutely ruined that. So this is it on the Bully Pulpit website. You can see an actual physical copy. It's roughly about $15, which is good. And I know, excuse me, I know you can get this from not Indie Drive-Thru, but Indie Press Revolution as well. But let us look at the Drive-Thru RPG. So yeah, you can also buy a soft cover from Drive-Thru RPG as well, so that's a good shout. Roughly about 60 pages page count, but that is including the character sheets as well. I think the actual book is roughly about 17 pages or so, as I had a quick look. So let's look at the copy, shall we? Well, no, first of all, look at this amazing cover. I love it. I think it's such a good cover. Look, it's got the author's name on it. One thing I always say is that if you've got a nice cover, you have to put your name on somewhere, because otherwise people will not know where it is. I really love it. I really love the drawing of it and that sort of darkened stain of possibly blood. Although I do think it's a wine stain, if I think about it a little bit. Okay, so let's read out the copy, shall we? And yet we can see that, can't we? I might just zoom in a little bit. Oh yeah, that's a little bit better so people can see, huh? Yeah. Yes, okay, so The Skeletons is a meditative, reflective, let's go with that, shall we? Structured freeform game for 1 to 6 players, so it could be a solo game, this game. All you'll need is a few hours and a private space. It's because I was like, why does it say out of dodge? It's because I'm holding on to something that says out of dodge. Years fly by like dead leaves. Everything is darkness. Everything is silent. You stand vigilant before the sarcophagus without thought or breathing. Such is your compulsion. You do not remember your name, and still you watch. The flesh has fallen off your bones, and still you watch. And then one day there is light and motion, and you weigh your bearded axe, and raise your shield, lusting for the fray, eager to measure your skill against these tomb-robbing children so full of blood. You'll never be alive again, but in this moment, in the chaos between violation and destruction, you truly live. And you remember what you once were, and you taste the sun. The Skeletons flips the script on the classic dungeon crawl. Here you play not the intruders, but the guardians, cursed to spend all eternity defending a tomb. As time passes, both the tomb and its guardians will change. Ferocious battles are fought and won, and the Skeletons slowly remember who and what they once were. Melancholy, introspective, and spanning epochs, the Skeletons is unlike anything you've ever played. Oh, there you go. So the British edition is 60 pages, roughly about 17 pages, I think. I think it's just maybe I'm talking about spreads, perhaps. They include the rules for the basic games, as well as variant settings by Jason Morningstar and Sarah Williamson. Also includes the digital edition for the same price. There you go. The digital edition is 17 pages, letter size, and 9-page character. So maybe we don't get those things. Interesting. Well, there you go. And we've got some 5-stars review. That's some interesting reviews, but we can look at those later, I think. So there we go. Yeah, I think that's all we need to do. So I'm going to switch over. She says, pointing at things as if that's gonna happen. It absolutely is not. So this book came out in, this sort of was at least sort of published roughly 2016, maybe 15, a little bit earlier as well. Well, obviously, first things first, there is no alt text, which is always the way. Also, I do think that, there's no, it's not screen readable, this particular cover. That's okay. It's a shame because I really love this cover. I love the sort of like aging of, it looks like stone weathering perhaps, or paper weathering. So again, it makes you think of those like old, ancient, etc. Obviously, you've got the huge sort of main piece of this being a skeleton that's sort of reeling back as if it's been hit by something, or scared of something perhaps. I'm not sure at the bottom here. I think its leg is off to one side, so it's like that perhaps. So I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's a very good drawing myself. It really like, ugh. And with the blood as well. So it looks like it has been hit in combat. But obviously skeletons don't have blood, so I don't know. So it feels like it's an action, so to speak. I like the font type as well, the skeletons. It feels very like, I don't know, it feels very important. You know, like ancient text and stuff like that. Hello, JC Darcy, doing a lurk. No problem, JC Darcy, but I do perceive you otherwise, but I'm very glad that you are here. We're just looking at the skeletons. We've just started, so you've come in right on time. So, the Skeletons, again by Jesse Morningstar. We've already read this out, so we'll read it out again. Why the heck not, shall we? So, the years fly by like dead leaves. Everything is darkness, and everything is silent. You stand vigil before the sarcophagus without thought or breath. Such is your compulsion. You do not remember your name, and still you watch. The flesh has fallen off your bones, and still you watch. I do like that. I do like the repetition of still you watch. It's the sort of thing I can imagine if you were writing like a poem, or if you were writing some ancient text or a story, maybe to include in some of your games, you'd put that little phrase at the end of every paragraph. Excuse me. And then one day there is light and motion, and you weigh your bearded axe and raise your shield, lusting for the fray, eager to measure your skill against these tomb-robbing children so full of blood. You'll never be alive again, but in this moment, in the chaos between violation and destruction, you truly live. And you remember what you once were, and you taste the sun. Oh, sorry, moved ahead. Oh, spoilers. I do like, you can see it. I do like Bully Pulpit's, like, almost like stamp of a logo. I feel like it's, what does it say there? It says fair play and a square deal. That's their sort of like motto. I quite like that. And it's because it's an easy thing to put everywhere. Other RPG logos, either they're sort of square and maybe text. Here, it does feel like an official, like, approved, which is quite good. Let's see what we've got here. We've got Skeleton Art, Creative Commons here. So that's quite cool. So we've got some Creative Commons artwork in here. James Ward, that name sounds familiar. I don't know who that is, though. But the Welcome Collection, that's exciting. My fact about the Welcome Collection is that I've been to it. It's in London. And the Welcome Collection has a very nice gift shop. Could absolutely recommend on that front. Anyway, there you go. So, let's get straight onto it, and I will zoom in a little bit. I might change the music. I'm not feeling this music. I will always go back to the waltzing of books, because it is gentle. There we go. Alright, let's zoom in a little bit so people can see. Move this over. Oh, interesting. All right. Preparing to play. So what this is? So the Skeletons is a meditative. Words are not my strong point. Structured freeform game. It flips the script on the classic dungeon crawl. Here you play not the intruders, but the guardians cursed to spend all of eternity defending a tomb. So, gather the stuff you need. I like this. It doesn't say, it's not like you asking a question like, what do I need? It's like, just gather this. What is this? Or what this is. Choose your skeletons. 1 to 6 players with 1 or more hours to spend together. So this is interesting. Yeah, I guess like if you had 6 players, I don't think you'd do 1 hour. That feels very tight to me. But I guess if you're 1 player, the idea of doing a solo player of this and you could just spend an hour doing it, that sounds great. A quiet place, to play that can be darkened. If you have neither quiet nor darkness, just close your eyes instead. A printout of these rules and the skeletons, a large sheet of blank paper, pencils or pens, a 6-sided die, and a timer of some sort. Optionally, having the sounds of the tomb being played as the years grind past. Right, I'm a massive fan of soundscape. This game does sound like, again, it was made to be played in person. Again, I can imagine that you could do it online and everyone listens to the same soundtrack and stuff. That could be quite fun. Yeah, because you could use like a Google document or a Miro board or something like that to, as instead of a large sheet of blank paper. So, choose your skeletons. Fight. Let each player choose a skeleton to play. There are 8. Each has a specific questions that you may answer during the game. When the game begins, you know nothing, just as they remember nothing, and each skeleton is a cipher. Over time, you will learn more. I'm a big fan of starting the game with no backstory and learning as you play. I feel that's very fully done in like the between, and we always have to mention the between. In the Gauntlet games was that sort of like, you know, public access, all that sort of thing where you do flashbacks to stuff. Same thing, same sort of vibe here is that you start with nothing. I really like that. Draw a map. Together, work together to sketch the outlines of the tomb. It can be any general shape or size. It needs to be built around a central sarcophagus and have a north, south, east, and west walls. It is fine to make the tomb visually interesting, but don't add any elaborate details. Use a large sheet of paper, letter size or bigger, and leave plenty of room for added information as you play. Draw on the map where your skeletons each stand silently. Watch in the darkness whilst the tomb remains undisturbed. Talk about working together. Unless you are playing alone, you will need to cooperate to reveal the skeleton's past and future. The game will ask you to make choices, so decide in advance how they will be made. Taking turns? By consensus? Sometimes something will happen to a single skeleton. The actions of the intruders require similar cooperation. Consider giving a different player responsibility for each group of intruders and let them make all the decisions for that brief slice of time. Their skeleton can be strangely still. Interesting, so that idea of like everyone has a turn, again, just giving them like, in this round, it's your turn to be the facilitator, etc. So giving that responsibility. I like that, just doing that at the beginning. Take a moment. When you have the skeletons and map, turn out the lights and take a moment to breathe. Feel the silence. Imagine the weight of countless years. When you are ready, turn on the lights and say, "Arise and protect the tomb, skeletal guardians," as an intruder is breaking into the tomb. Now, obviously, again, normally you do a quick sort of lines and veil session 0 anyway, but again, I appreciate this is maybe a little bit before that time of like putting it in. So like that idea of like, we're talking about working together, that's the sort of session 0 that you could set, hey, so what kind of intruders are we having? Like maybe we are not going to explore, like Tomb Raiders, that sort of thing, or like Indiana Jones style, where maybe depictions of certain individuals is more punching down than anything else. So that's the sort of stuff you might put there. So playing the game, intruders. When an intruder violates the tomb, the skeletons spring into action. They are cursed to defend the tomb against all comers, and with as much ferocity as they can muster forever. It is only when they can. It is the only time when they can move, think, and feel. All else is in darkness. During an encounter, the skeletons can communicate with each other telepathically, discuss matters, make plans, and otherwise exhibit a limited form of agency. They must always act to remove threats to the tomb, and are incapable of any action that contravenes this goal. They can be clever, remaining still to orchestrate an ambush, for example, but they cannot ignore or aid an intruder. While an intruder is present, skeletons may also remember bits of their past. Their minds are their own for the duration of the encounter, provided they are busy removing threats. Once the threat is removed, they must immediately return to their watch posts and be still. Skeletons win encounters with intruders. Tomb robbers, wandering beasts, and other pests are driven away or killed until finally they are not. The rules change when you reach the third part of the game, the desecration, and it is there that the skeletons will likely be defeated. When it is time for your first encounter, choose one from the unsealed tomb and mark it off. Do whatever the instructions say. So it sounds like we've got 3 acts, essentially, going through this game, which is quite good. I like that. So, time. After each encounter, choose a length of time on the associated time passes table. This is something that we saw in Artifact a little bit. Again, maybe we didn't do this for this channel. I can't remember. Artifact has a similar vibe where once you've been lost from your owner, you roll and you sit in that silence for like however many minutes or days you do. Time passes. Always do whatever the instructions say. And then ending the game. So the game ends when the seasoned group of intruders manages to scatter the skeleton's bones, or when you are content to leave your skeletons in a cold, dark place forever. Take a final moment to sit in silence in the dark, and then turn the lights back on, have a snack, and talk about the experience you shared. So again, that would be like almost like a Lines and Veils debriefing session, perhaps. Not so formalised, but just good to know. The unsealed tomb. So we've got the rules already, and it's so far it is just they're talking, right? Doesn't seem to be any mechanics, any like what's it? It's 1d6, I think they said. Yeah, 1d6 die. I wonder if there's any mechanics. So the unsealed tomb. So this is Act 1 essentially. So choose an intruder. It says here, mark it and follow the instructions. When 2 intruders have been checked off and dealt with, go to the time of dust. I assume that's going to be the next one here. So we have grave rats. How do you drive away such small, agile creatures and prevent their return? Everyone can answer one question if they wish, so it must be a question on their character sheet. And choose once either on the Glory Fades or God's Laugh table. Oh, I wonder what those are. And then we've got an amateur tomb robber. Describe this person. Well prepared or in rags. Confident or frightened. Who amongst you slays the tomb robber and how? Everyone must answer one question. The killer or killers may answer 2. And then choose once either on the Glory Fades or God's Laugh table. I assume you choose, it's just the group chooses. I assume that's what it is. I assume we'll get to these tables in a second. And then finally, the other intruder is a spirit of the place, disturbed by the newly built tomb. How do you drive away such an ancient and immaterial presence? Everyone can answer one question if they wish, and then choose once on either the Glory Fades or the God's Laugh table. And it says, after each intruder is driven away or killed, choose one of the options and mark it off, and sit in the darkness as indicated. Think about the endless silence and unfathomable darkness. I'll get that one time. So we have no time at all. Immediately begin a new encounter. A day. Turn off the lights and sit in silence for 5 seconds, and then say, arise and protect the tomb, skeletal guardians, and begin a new encounter. A week. So turn off the lights and sit for 10 seconds. A month. 20 seconds. A year. 40 seconds. And a decade. 1 minute. There you go. And then another very simple drawing. Just, again, no alt text. What I do quite like, again, maybe I'll move it so you guys can see it. Oh no! Oh god. No. Oh, you know what? I was looking on the wrong screen. That's pretty bad. I like at the bottom how it says the name of the book and how many pages we have in the PDF. I know that sounds really silly, but it's helpful for me to know. And it is screen readable. I think, again, just in case these are taken out of context, like, because you can imagine you photocopy these sheets. I think in the character sheets, you don't have these. So you would probably likely to photocopy it and print it out. So having a copy of these rather than marking the book is pretty useful. All right, Act 2, which is the Time of Dust. Excuse me, move that back over. So same as before, when 2 intruders... Oh, there's a bit of a gap there. Oh dear, oh dear. When 2 intruders have been checked off and dealt with, go to the desecration, so go to Act 3. So we have 3 types of intruders. We have a family seeking shelter. Are they refugees? Are they monsters? Everyone answers one question if they wish. If someone slays the matriarch, they may answer 2. Oh, I don't like that. in a good way. And then choose once on the glory fades or the god's laugh table. A pair of professional tomb robbers. Describe them, illustrating how they work as a team. What object immediately attracts their attention? Can they fight? Everyone answers 1. The killer or killers answers 2. And choose once on the glory fades or god's laugh table. And then we've got giant tomb spiders, so arachnophobia warning there. Intelligent and graceful, they are stubborn, clever, and hard to dislodge. How do you destroy them? Do you reach an understanding? How? Everyone can answer 1 question if they wish. Choose once on either the glory fades or the god's laugh table. I do like that idea, though, of fighting giant tomb spiders, whatever that might be. Again, I remember playing Grounded on the old Xbox, and I was like, this is horrible. It's like, what's that in the darkness? It was rushing straight towards me with red eyes. Oh dear. All right, time passes. So after each intruder is driven away or killed, choose one of the options and mark it off and sit in silence as indicated. Think about the awful grinding passage of time. So a month is 20 seconds here. A year is 40 seconds. A decade is 1 minute. So I think that's similar to these ones as well. A century. Ooh, choose once on the world's crumble or time devours table and adjust the map as needed. When ready, turn off the lights and sit in silence for 2 minutes, and then arise and protect the tomb, skeletal guardians, and begin a new encounter. Same for the centuries one. You also choose once on the world's crumble or time devours table and adjust the map. Sit in silence for 3 minutes, and then a millennium. Choose once again on the world's crumble and time devours table, and then adjust, and then sit in silence for 4 minutes, and then say arise and protect the tomb skeletal guardians. Ooh. Oh, and what's the one? Content warning for snakes and skulls. I should have said skull. I should have probably said skeletons as well, shouldn't I? That's a great image though. Reminds me of that Indiana Jones going, why is it always snakes? Amazing. And then Act 3, the desecration. So, intruders, choose an intruder, mark it and follow the instructions. When you feel you've spent 10 minutes or more in the dark across the entire game, the next intruders will defeat you. Regardless if you check off the third group of intruders here, they will surely defeat you. Ah, okay, interesting. So 10 minutes and sitting in silence for the whole game. Okay. So we'll have to keep an eye on the time of that one. So we have three options again. An army of plunderers. So dozens of bandits with shovels, picks, and axes. Describe them, illustrating how they barely work together, obsessed with greed. What catches their chief's eye? Did they bring magic or science to aid them? Will they overwhelm you, laughing with delight? Everyone answers either none, 1, or 2 questions they prefer, and then choose one each on the glory fades and God's laugh table. Ah, so that was the different ones we had before. Just choose one, or choose once. Right. So here each. So before in Acts 1 and 2, it was the group, or presumably the person in charge of that round would choose it. Okay. Some of your descendants. Ooh, they follow an ancient treasure map penned by your own children. Describe how you see yourself in them. Who among them will be the first to who among you will be the first to strike them down? Can you even bear it? Everyone answers none, 1, or 2 questions as they prefer, and choose one once each on the Glory Fades or the God Laughs table. And then a necromancer and some mercenaries. Describe them, illustrating how much more interested the necromancer is in you than the treasure. Surely this person will use their knowledge to try to control you all. Will they succeed? Everyone answers none, 1 or 2 questions as they prefer, and then choose once each on the Glory Fades and God's Laugh table. So, after each intruder is driven away or killed, choose one of the following and mark it off. Sit in darkness as indicated. Think about all that has gone on before and how it came to be. So, a decade, 1 minute. Century, we choose on those tables of World Crumble or Time Devours. 2 minutes. Century, same again. It's going to be 3 minutes. A millennium is 4 minutes. An age, choose once each on the World's Crumble and Time Devours table. Adjust the map. 5 minutes. And then an epoch. Choose 3 times on either or both the World Crumbles or Time Devours, and adjust the map as needed. When ready, turn off the lights, sit in silence for 6 minutes, and then say, arise and protect the tomb, skeletal guardians, and begin a new encounter. I wonder if that D6 is to help you indicate the time passing and which one to get. I just wonder that. Alright. Tomb tables, our favourites. So Time Devours work. So Glory Fades and God's Laugh, that's for when you defeat people. So let's say Glory Fades. So choose and mark for anything affecting a single skeleton. Choose which however you like. So we've got the magic compelling one of the skeletons to service, but not its undead energy, is beginning to fade. Something the skeletons are protecting is lost, stolen, or simply missing. What is it? So they're more like prompts, these, aren't they? Oh, a memory that a skeleton has previously regained is false and the truth asserts itself. Which memory and what truth? So again, a bit of a content warning there for maybe modified memory, not remembering stuff. The place where a skeleton stands to watch is covered in debris and impassable. A skeleton loses some bones permanently. What body part is missing? And note it on the character sheet. Something the skeletons are protecting is damaged. What and how? So, can you choose loads of them over and over? I guess maybe not, because you've got 2 rounds? At most you're going to get like 2 here, 2 here, presumably 1 or 2 here. But if you got a whole 6 players, then would you be marking this one? Is it per round you would mark up and get it 1 for each one, perhaps? Right, God's Laugh. Choose and mark, but anything affecting a single skeleton, choose whichever you like. So the skeleton's weapon is broken, bent, or rendered useless. What will they do? And note it on the character sheet. A skeleton's appearance is altered in some way. Perhaps they are marked by fire or magic. A memory that a skeleton has previously regained slips away and is lost forever. Oh no! Which one? Something the skeletons are protecting is destroyed. What is it? Something that from the skeleton's past has been accidentally revealed. Oh, no, full stop there. What is it and why is it hidden? Or why was it hidden? Note this on the map. The magic animating one of the skeletons, not its compulsion to service, is beginning to fade. Oh no, so that's the opposite to that first one there. And then we go to the time one. So, Worlds Crumble. Choose on mark. For anything affecting the tomb itself, note it on the map and adjust accordingly. So a wall comes down blocking part of the tomb. Which part? Adjust the map. A tomb robber is successful. What object did they steal? Choose from among those already introduced if you are able. Adjust the map. The great sarcophagus splits open and spilling out its contents. What is within? Adjust the map. The tomb is flooded. What is ruined, mould-covered, or decayed after the waters recede? Adjust the map. That thing reminds me of Piranesi, by Susan Clark. Oh, hello, Hogan. How are you doing, my friend? It's nice to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well, my friend. We're just looking through the skeletons now, by Jason Morningstar. but you've come in just at the right time. Gold and silver dull, iron rusts, colours fade to a sepulchral grey. Note this on the map. And finally, a thick layer of dust covers every surface. Note this on the map. And then time devours. Anything affecting the tomb itself, note it on the map and adjust accordingly. So the web of tomb spiders forms an intricate filigree over the walls and ceiling. Note this on the map. That's quite cool. I like the word filigree. The tomb is infested. What signs of vermin remain long after the infestation ends? Adjust the map. A crack develops, creating an opening for robbers and other vermin. Where? Something collapses, leaving a large pile of debris. What has failed? Wood, cloth, hide, horn, or enchanted bone all turn to powder. Note this on your map. Whoop. And then an earthquake rocks the tomb, drastically altering its shape and utility. Many things are destroyed. Good to see you again, Fiona. I'm doing well. Oh, good. Yes, no, I was saying at the beginning of the stream, yes, I basically was just prepping all for Gen Con, then Gen Con happened, and then I was tired. But it's all good. Hopefully be back to a more usual schedule after 1 or 2 weeks off. So, bonus materials. So that's the game. That's the game. My camera just went really weird for a second. I don't know how to sort that. What was I going to say? Things to try. So yeah. So there's additional rules that we could do if we were going to run this game. So play with a facilitator. So let one player, probably you, serve as a facilitator, portraying all the adversary that arises and paints the scene. The facilitator keeps track of time, pushes the skeletons to answer questions, and acts on what is revealed. It's a fun way to play. We've also got rotating the spotlight. Choose a different player to answer each question and introduce a new intruder. Yeah, I thought that was pretty straightforward. I thought that was sort of put in the game at the beginning. A simple way to accomplish this is to take turns rotating clockwise every time the game asks for a creative prompt. Make sure everyone gets a chance to introduce an intruder. Play alone. There's nothing preventing you from experiencing the skeletons solo. In fact, it will drive home the game's main themes of loneliness, isolation, and melancholy. Play with distant friends. The skeletons works great in synchronous but distributed mode via Hangout, Skype, and your preferred conferencing application. So make sure you have access to collaboration tools. Also, it does indicate that you could do it online. I mean, yeah, makes sense. Choose a map maker. So let one player, perhaps your friend who is a brilliant artist, lovingly embellish the shared map with input from everyone. You should still illustrate your own skeletons though. Surprise yourself. So every category has 6 options. You can roll a 6-sided die instead of choosing, using the next closest item in the event in case of a repeat roll. Okay. So yeah, that bonus, that D6 is definitely bonus. So a lot of this is just a conversational piece. Make something up. The category items need not be the final word on the saga of the skeletons. Before you play, collectively offer 6 new items for Glory Fades, God's Laughs, Time Devours, or Worlds Crumble. That's the thing I was going to say. I was like, I would like to see more options for that sort of stuff. Maybe there's some alternative ones later on. Because what I'm really getting really strong vibes for a 1,000-Year-Old Vampire. And how that works with memory loss and moving forward and like retaining memories, etc. So that's what I think of here. So it would be nice, similar to how that has loads of prompts, like up to 100 prompts, and then alternative ones as well. That's something I would definitely include in this, making sure there's alternate tables for those Glory Fades, God's Laughs, Time Devours, and Worlds Crumble even. Once you know how intruders work, invent your own, hopefully presenting your fellow skeletons with some unpleasant and difficult decisions to make. Play with time. The moments when the skeletons have agency, when the sanctity of the tomb is violated, can stretch out for them. They can include flashbacks, soliloquies, and thunderous telepathic arguments stretching into both the past and the future. Connect the dots. By the end of the game, your tomb is well realised and filled with tragic history, incredible treasure, and the scattered bones of its defeated defenders. It is a wonderful set piece to drop into another game, either as is or with a different ending, with some still active skeletons for bold adventurers. It is senselessly bludgeon. Interesting. I was about to say, this feels like a really good thing to put into a world building, a very unusual thing to do in its world building. So, like that a lot. Use a variant. So try using Sarah Williamson's excellent Echoes of War variant. So this is going to be on the next page, because that is definitely the wrong page number, because we're on page 8 now. To provide a completely different intruders and imbue the game with a different tone. You could also swap out a single era using the Time of Dust and the original Unsealed Tomb. Oh, so you could... I see, so you can mix and match. Oh, that's quite fun. And then create your own variant. So an extension of making something up allows you to create a completely new variant of a set of tables. If you keep track of the original contributions as you play, soon enough you'll have your own variant. Make sure you have something that ties the 3 eras together thematically. How do you pronounce that? Albeit loosely. Albeit loosely. If you create your own variant, let us know. Okay, and then it goes into Sarah's one as well, which looks like a war of some sort. Let's read this one a little bit. Wind howls across the blood-soaked fields. The great war machines lie abandoned, sucked deep into the mud. The sounds of battle give way to whispered prayers of wounded, tired, and weak. But beneath the deep layers of dirt and rust, we hear the echoes of war. The armies above the rot, but we have earned no such easy rest. The clash of metal against metal reverberates in our skulls. We grip our weapons in the dark, and when the armies march again, we are ready. We hear all, and we wait. There you go. So what we've got some a swarm of corpse beetles there. Sorry. A wizard elder. I was going to say these time passes. They're probably very similar, right? Say a month, 20 seconds, 1 minute. Yeah, absolutely. A wizard elder, a wounded soldier. Say that's a similar image from the one before, right? A ghostly commander, young loves, their carefree laughter echoing across the tomb. A fleshy cave beast and its pups. Oh, horrible. Yeah, I think the timings are still the same, right? Yeah, it looks like they're still the same. And you wouldn't want it to go on to too long. That image is still the same. Conquering army. A team of scientificans, soft and weak. Ooh. An automaton. Ooh, interesting. What about fireman? Oh, there's another variant. Okay. So they've given variants for the intruders, but not necessarily for the Worlds Crumble Time Devours table. That is a shame. I think that they've missed a trick there. I think it should be you should have some alternates there. What's Fire Mountain? Again, uses the same image. Beneath the Fire Mound, all is not darkness. The angry mountain stirs, and its veins glow orange and red. In this, oh god, it always says sepulchral light. We, the cursed, bide our time in the primordial heat of creation itself. But even in this unlivable hellscape, there is life of a sort, and there are worse things that would violate the sanctity of the tomb. And these things fill us with the manic joy of freedom and terror of a fresh contest of arms, and we destroy them. Our swords may melt, but we destroy them. Our bones may burn, but we destroy them. So again, goes back to that repeating of, but we destroy them, we destroy them. Ah, see, then we've got some tomb tables that are variants. Oh, so there's a mixture of both. I guess, like, this sort of Fire Mount one could go with those initial intruders, perhaps. So what have we got? Glory fades. Look at the intruders that may appear during the desecration. Choose one and describe its arrival, and the terrible harm it inflicts upon you all. Everyone should agree to help make sure this comes to pass, or engineer a good reason why it does not. Something in the skeletons are protecting is destroyed. An extended flashback from one of the skeletons. The place where a skeleton stands watch sinks into lava and is impassable. The skeleton loses some of its bones. Something that they're protecting is lost. A wall comes down for worlds crumble. Extreme heat melts something precious in the tomb. During a trembolor? The sarcophagus shifts and slides off the plinth intact. Where does it move? A trickle of groundwater finds the tomb, resulting in clouds of steam. Adjust the map. Gold and silver deform, iron rusts. Yep. A thick layer of ash and soot covers every surface. Oh, wait, I've just discovered. Oh, I've just realised. It's done it this way round. So we've got glory fades and God's laughs here, but on the original, where are you? On the original, it's the other way round. Yeah, God's fades, glory fades and God's laugh. That's really confusing. Yeah, I agree. I should be like glory fades and then God's laughs, and so move it round the other way. So they've changed that structure there. Okay, so we'll go back up here. Skeleton's weapon is broken, melted, or rendered useless. The appearance is altered in some way. A memory that is previously regained slips away and is lost forever. An item of jewelry renders a skeleton immune to heat and flame. Something from the skeleton's past has been accidentally revealed. The magic animating one of the skeleton's surges, making that skeleton far more powerful and capable than before, but only for the next encounter. After that, the magic fades, perhaps into nothing. Then the magic animating one of the skeletons, but not its compulsion to service, begins to fade. So again, there's the thing is that we've got similar things that happened in the previous one. I've got a couple that I'm like, oh, so this is for the volcano setting. I think I would definitely change them so they are definitely more related to that volcano, or related to the environment more, perhaps. So we've got extreme heat. Yeah, I was gonna say all these. Infernal beetles are drawn to the fire, and heat spreads their process everywhere, decorating walls and ceilings with glowing egg sacs. Gross. Dislike that. Magmen visit the tomb briefly, dropping off some object before retreating in haste. What do they leave? Oh, it's like almost like a sacrifice. I like that. A crack blowing cool air develops an opening for intruders. Something collapses, leaving a large pile of debris. Everything turns to ash, and an earthquake rocks the tomb, drastically altering its thing. Okay. Oh, and then it's gone and written some more stuff. So we have the unsealed tomb for the Magnus. We've got an old friend. We've got offerings. I was going to say offerings seems like the big one to bring on that. An instant. Yes, that's right. And Hell Beast. The timings are the same as well for time passes. Replacements. Oh, more skeletons appear. Your number exactly, but still pink from their flensing. Ooh, that's flesh cleansing, I think is that word. Fresh and still full of strange vitality. What uniquely marks each of them? What memories do they stir in the newness and vigor? You may be bound and cursed to guard the tomb, spending eternity forever vigilant. But unlike you, they are intruders to be destroyed like any other. Oh, that's very good. I like that. That's a good one. Familiar ghosts. Whatever dark magic wrenched the life from you and crammed your consciousness into these spare, glistening bones left some energy adrift, apart, and your other selves have either found you after many years of tormented wandering. Do they have a sort of consciousness as well? Do they resemble you in life? Do they have some goal? How can they be repelled or destroyed? And then we have some pit slaves as well. Again, your lines may vary on that. A haggard crew of miners in chains breaks into the tomb, driven by their cruel overseer, exposing an adjacent vein of furiously hot magma in the process. There are dozens of them, and they are weak, hobbled, and terrified. See, I do like the replacement. I think I would definitely mix and match all of these together. I don't know if I would put it in the volcano. I think I like the original setting, of the classic setting of the tomb myself, so to speak. And then, final, the desecration one. We've got the slumberer. As if by some unknown signal, arcane energy throbs within the sepulchre you have guarded so faithfully. The one whose corpse you are bound to protect and stir, and desiccated hands scramble at the stones containing them. A cool voice says, "Free me," and the implacable logic of your curse is clear. Anything that moves them to must be destroyed. You guard the tomb, but not its occupant. What do you do? Oh, that's great. Love that. The flood. Somewhere beneath the tomb, the earth stirs and vomits forth bone-incinerating lava. Where does it emerge? How quickly does it creep across the floor or drip from the ceiling? And what is burnt up in its relentless path? How will you protect the tomb from its intruder? How will you protect what little remains after the fires have ebbed? Nice, I like that one. And then we've got magman. Beings from the deep in the earth swim through the stone and enter the tomb. They are made of living fire and wear armor crafted from magma or otherwise strange and full of death and wonder. What business do they have this close to the surface? And how will you fight their impossible heat? And that's the end of it there. I guess, yeah, I actually think I understand why there's 3 intruders for each one. And it says after 2 you move on. I would definitely have more options for intruders. Like, I love the slumber idea. I love the replacements idea. I would put that in the top one in that original setting, perhaps. So that's quite good. So that is the setting itself, and yeah, just a d6. It's optional to roll it and decide which one you get in terms of time. I think for each one, I would love to see. Maybe you would just roll a d6 and then make it a d3 by taking it by dividing it by 2. So you could do it all completely randomly. What I'm going to do for the final bit, I'm going to look at the character sheets themselves because I want to see what these are like, because it talks about answering questions as well. So like this game, it seems to be more of a narrative storytelling game with a cartography sort of element to it. So here's, for example, I've got 9 sheets. And we've got these questions. So, silver torque. So, a beautiful silver torque decorates your collarbone. And you carry a blunt silver sword. Sketch these details in the illustrations. Oh, so that's quite cool. Like, you already have the skeleton here, but then you could add some little details to it. Got some answering some questions. What beautiful artifact is enshrined in the alcove off the north wall? And note the answer on your map. Okay, so you can actually add and create stuff. And I guess it will be different depending on which skeletons you put in there. So answer these as time passes. What is your name? Whom did you once love? What by name did you earn in life that describes your greatest accomplishment? What thing you once owned can be seen amongst the bones of the would-be robbers that litter the floor? Ooh, interesting. Who here amongst the skeletons is kin to you? And what is your relationship with them? Oh, so we can have a relationship with someone else, but we don't discover it till later on during play. That's fun. I like that. What connection do you have to those you've just killed or driven away? What memory did they invoke? And here's some names and things that the Silver Talk may recall from some days. So we've got some examples as well. So we've got some names. Things. I don't know what things are. Ooh. And some observations that you can make in the tomb as well. And same here, we've got rusted shirts. So similar. Yeah, so it looks like the same questions apart from this one here. Who amongst the skeletons was once a great rival of yours, and in what endeavour? So that's quite good. The tattered cloak one. Same. Oh wait. Oh no, there's more here. Sorry, there's 2 questions which are notable. So whose bones rest in the great sarcophagus? The tattered cloak. Special questions here. We've got the ones that define what the tomb is up there. And these answered ones here. Yeah, there you go. Ooh, a headless one. Excellent. That's me. Taking that one. Who claimed your head and why? Amazing. I like that. That's quite fun. I think the observations are the same, so there's just a way to give you some prompts as you go through. So the arrow's shield is another one there. The outsider. Your bones are unlike the others. You carry a weapon that suits your frame and fearsome armor. Interesting. Okay, so a little bit of a different shape for your body as well. Ooh, horror. You were assembled or summoned or imagined by an unstable mind and made real. You carry no weapon. You are the weapon, but you were adorned with jewelry. That's pretty cool. I love the fact that's different as well. It's almost like put together, made together, Frankenstein style. Very cool. Oh, big head. Oh. A narrow band of tarnished silver, I think that's supposed to be silver, encircles your bulbous skull. Around your neck hangs an amulet bearing a strange symbol of forgotten meaning. There you go. And then the crawler. Don't like that. Hate that. Oh. Bent in life and bent in death, you cannot stand upright. You scuttle and crouch like a beast. You carry a much nicked knife and wear the remains of an elegant fur-trimmed jacket. Oh god, it's almost like beast-like. Incredible. So there you go. Those are all the different character sheets. I think I would definitely take the horror one, and the crawler could be quite fun. Have some more headless ones. So it'll be interesting. I wouldn't put all of those slightly unusual skeletons in one particular game. I definitely would maybe have one or two, because it's like an adventuring party, isn't it? That's what I'm thinking there. So there you go. That is our quick review of the skeletons. What do we think, friends? What do we think? Overall, straightforward game, isn't it? It's just storytelling. There's no mechanic to it, which is fine. I think the setting of it is quite fun and interesting. I love the idea of sketching a map together and drawing a map together and then answering questions from your character sheet about the map and then having those flashbacks as you go. I would think more options for the intruders per setting. So I think 6 options would be fine. And it didn't matter if you only choose 2 of them. I definitely think maybe some more generic intruders for the main setting, and then some more specific ones for those other 2 settings it sort of describes. So that Echoes of War one and the Fire Mount variant on that. I do wish there was some more choices for the Glory Fades, God's Laugh, Worlds Collide, Time Devours thing. I think it's quite difficult to come up with them like that, but I think just other options that we could just put together, because they seemed a bit. Yeah, I guess that's my question, is that once it's picked, like, it feels like, do you can you repick certain ones, or can you only change? Yeah, that's it. So if there's 6, hang on, let's look at this. What does it say? So choose once. Oh, choose once. Okay, I understand now. So you can only choose once on these ones. So you can choose once for the first one to, like, if there's 2 encounters for the first act and second act, everyone chooses once. So then you choose up 4 between these two options. I get that. And then, but then it goes to, so that's choose once, and then sometimes it will go to a millennium, choose once each. So if you've got 6 people, you might be splitting quite a bit between them, perhaps. I don't know if that works. I feel like you need more options. Or everyone just chooses once. You know what I mean? And then here it goes, choose either. Choose 3 times, either or both. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. It says and. Wait a minute, hang on. So yeah, Centuries one, it says choose once on the World's Crumble or the Time Devours. And then it goes to Millennium, choose once each on the World's Crumbles and the Time Devours. So that's, wait. So once each. Does that mean you choose twice then? You choose one on the World's Table and then on the, you know what I mean? Oh. And then that last one, the Epoch one, choose 3 times on either or both of the World's Crumble or. Oh wow, yeah. What is that logic? Choose 3 times on either or both the Worlds Collide all the time. Yeah, so you could literally do 3 on one for another, or it could be like 1 on Worlds Crumble and then 2 on Time Devours. Okay. A little bit confusing, perhaps. I probably have to play it through myself. But I like the idea behind it. I think it's quite interesting. I do think, yeah, more options are needed, I think, to roll that d6. I like a little bit of chance. I like a little bit of, like, working stuff out. I would also love, again, I love that how the game is literally just 1 page and it's just got lots of options for it. Love that. I think I would definitely love to have maybe a playlist of some examples of, like, audio tracks that they would recommend. Again, a bit tricky to do, perhaps. I did see that, was it here? No, I don't think it was. I think it was another game I was looking at before we came on stream. Again, it would be nice to have some alt text, I guess, if it was going to be done again. The images are repeated a little bit. Not necessarily the end of the world. I don't mind that too much. But the images do use up the white space. That's something I always dislike about games that have, like, some good imagery, but then they don't fill up all the white space. Here there's, you know, there's big white space there, but they've used the images up there. So even though it's repeating it a little bit, I'm not too worried by that. I think that's fine. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So that is the skeletons. Thank you so much, folks, for joining me back here. I appreciate it is a short one, perhaps. And we're just getting back into the groove. So thank you so much for... Wait, if you want to grab your own copy, you can get it via either a physical copy via the Bully Pulpit website, which is about $15. So what's that, like £13 UK money? You can also get it on Indie Press Revolution, or you could be like me and get it on Drive-Thru RPG. I think that was about £9. £9, I want to say off the top of my head. So you can go check that out there. Friends, where? Let me go back. There we go. Right, what else is coming up, friends? Well, we do have another one tomorrow, which is very exciting. It's around the week off. Let's see. I can't remember what it's called, though. Oh, we've got Canon tomorrow. Canon is the game of choice tomorrow. And Canon is a game about myths and oral culture, the relationship between a culture and the stories it tells, how story traditions develop, and stories that give rise to endless and I can never say these words, irreconcilable interpretations. So there you go. So conflicting interpretations by Vermilion Games. Now, Vermilion Games haven't done much in terms of content, except the person behind it, Jay Lee, did do Twain, one of my favourite of all time solo RPGs that I got to play in the pandemic, and it was just great game. Really, really good game. Really enjoyed it. So this is from the same publishing house, at least, so we can probably look at that. So that will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central, 5 p.m. BST. Your time zones will check your time zones. Then next week we're going to do Monday. We've actually put it on Monday. I don't know why I put it on Monday. We're going to do the Princess Bride role-playing quick start. I know we meant to do it before I went away, and then I didn't have any time. And then, so that's going to be Monday. And then Tuesday, we've got Rats! A game about, she says, looking at the thing, a game about, a game of furry fury. Got to say that right. It is a satiric, RPG chronoling the rats' awakening and subsequent holy war against humanity. Dogs, cats, snakes, owls, rat heretics, amazing, rat apostates, rats that are just plain annoying, inanimate objects, and rats that are probably okay but still worth XP. So there you go. So those are the two games we've got next week, and then I'm going to be putting up some more in the future. I'm probably going to be limiting it to maybe 2 a week for the August, because it's getting to be pretty busy, which is good fun. Princess Bride, yes, Hogan, yes, I know. I really want to do that one, and I know I said I'd do it before Gen Con, and I did not. So we're going to go for Princess Bride when it comes up. It's going to be next Monday at 11 my time, so that'll be good. In the meantime, if you are interested, as always, I also do What Am I Rolling, which is a twice monthly tabletop RPG one-shot podcast, where we do lots of different things. We had an interview that came out recently with Iris Burke of Button King Games, and that was a game about that was an interview about her upcoming Kickstarter, which is happening next Tuesday at time of streaming, which is called Jude's World, which is a solo tarot card game about divorce. I know, right? I think it's a really fun game. Really interesting, and definitely one to keep an eye out for. It's basically, what if you decided not to do not Freaky Friday, what's it called, Parent Trap? If you're like, this should not work. So that'll be fun. So go listen to that. I think Ibris is amazing. She's a brilliant GM as well. The other RPG podcast that I do, my camera just went again. I'm probably going to have to get a new camera at some point. It's not happy. The other one I'm doing is the DM's Book Club, a weekly book club podcast where we talk about some Dungeons and Dragons and discuss how we might include them in our role-playing campaigns. And we've just had an episode go out yesterday, which is all about clerics. We had one last week, which was a proactive role-playing game, which was quite good fun. And those were 2 guest people we had on there. And next week, it's going to be some Eberron. We're going into Eberron, which I'm very excited for. Finally. Well, again, if you want to come chat to us about RPG stuff, check out the Discord. There's a link, both in the link trees for the various podcasts, but also there's a link for it in the chat as well. But the final thing I do want to mention, she says, if I can remember the keywords for it, Euphoria is happening. It's a wonderful, just recently launched streaming network, platform, service, whatever, brain, which is run by the wonderful JC Darcy and Ida, who have been on several different productions together. You might remember I was on Order Tales for some charity stuff, as Roll for Good, etc. They're the brain boxes behind that sort of thing, and so they just recently launched Euphoria, which is basically raising the bar for excellence in terms of diversity, safety, and performance in the TTRPG scene in the UK and Europe. And they are doing this month a whole month of sci-fi, the Summer of Sci-Fi it's called. And you should just go out and check out, that's a link to the Rascals sort of bio about it, where you can find their Twitter, their Twitch, their YouTube, etc. Look at all the stuff they've got coming up. Some exciting panels, some amazing actual plays, some interviews and stuff, and some solo games. One of which is mine, which will be for small creatures such as we, which is very. It was very interesting to run, and I'll be doing a live actual play, solo actual play. I think on a Tuesday at some point. I should really look that up. And that will be One Breath Left, which we did cover on this channel as well. So I'm very excited for that. So do go check them out. Please follow them along because it's a very both Darcy and Ida are great. It's also a quite passionate thing to my heart. This idea of like raising up the bar for excellence and diversity and safety in the UK and EU TTRPG community because they're great. So go check that out. All right, friends. I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to work out what the heck is wrong with my camera if it keeps every so often on the fritz like that. I know it's been doing it for a little while, so maybe I just need to plug it in and plug it out again. Who knows? I will see you guys tomorrow for another Too Long Didn't Read Tabletop RPG. So enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. Play more games, as always. It's good to be back. And I will find the button to end the stream and say goodbye for now. Goodbye for now.